Hey there, and welcome. So you're getting ready to study in Australia? That's amazing. But first, we've got to get through one of the biggest hurdles, the documents for your Subclass 500 student visa. Let's dive in and break this whole thing down so you can get it done right.
Yeah, I get it. You look at the list of documents and it just seems endless, right? There's so much pressure to get every single detail perfect. But honestly, don't sweat it. We're going to walk through this step by step, and I promise we'll turn all that confusion into pure confidence.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the one tool you absolutely cannot skip. Then we'll cover every document category one by one, proving who you are, what you plan to study, how you'll pay for it, all the way to that final double check before you hit submit.
Okay, let's kick things off with your new best friend, the document checklist tool. Seriously, this isn't just a suggestion. It's your official, personalized guide from the Department of Home Affairs. You have to use it. You just punch in your country and your school, and boom, it creates the exact list of what you need. And a pro tip, requirements can change, so check it again right before you submit your application.
First up, proving you are who you say you are. Think of this as the foundation of a house. If this part isn't solid, the whole application comes crashing down.
And here's the golden rule for this entire process. Every single thing you provide has to be 100% true and accurate. I mean it. There is absolutely zero wiggle room on this.
And here's why that rule is so important. The consequences for getting it wrong are, well, they're really severe. We're not just talking about a visa refusal. If you provide false information, you could be looking at a 10-year ban from Australia. And that ban could apply to your family members too. The stakes are just incredibly high.
So, what do you actually need? It's pretty straightforward. You'll need clear copies of your current passport, specifically the pages with your photo, your personal details, and the issue and expiry dates. If your country has a national ID card, include a copy of that as well. Oh, and if your name is ever changed for any reason, you'll need the official paperwork to show why, like a merit certificate.
Okay, once they know who you are, you have to show them why you're applying. This part is all about proving that you're a genuine student with a real purpose for coming to Australia.
The absolute key document here is your confirmation of enrollment, or COE. You'll need one for every course you're taking. Now, if you're lucky enough to be sponsored by your government, you'll also need a letter of support. And for every single applicant, you have to answer the genuine student questions in the application. This is your moment to really shine and clearly explain your study plans.
All right, next on the list are a couple of big ones that everyone has to deal with: your English language skills and your health insurance. These are total deal breakers, so let's get them right.
And listen up, because this is a really important update. The government has changed the minimum scores required for English language tests. The score you need to get now depends on when you actually take the test. Let's look at the specifics.
Okay, so focus in on this. If you take your English test on or before August 6th, 2025, this is the table for you. You can see the minimum scores, like a 6.0 for IELTS. Those other columns show the lower scores you can have if you're also taking an English language course, what they call ELICOS, before your main studies.
Now, if you take your test on or after August 7th, 2025, this is your new reality. See how some scores have changed? The TOEFL IBT minimum goes up, while the PT Academic actually goes down a bit. It is so important that you look at the right table based on your test date.
Next up, health stuff. You absolutely positively must have Overseas Student Health Cover, OSHC, for your entire stay. It's not optional. In fact, if you don't show proof that you've paid for it, your visa will be refused. It's that simple. And one more thing. Just double-check if you need a polio vaccination certificate. That only applies if you've recently been in certain high-risk countries.
All right, let's talk about the topic that's on everyone's mind: money. You have to prove to the Australian government that you can financially support yourself during your studies.
So this is the big question, isn't it? How much is enough? Well, the great news is there's a pretty clear formula for this. So let's break down exactly how to figure out your number.
So the starting point is your own living expenses for 1 year. Right now, that magic number is 29,710 Australian dollars. And keep in mind, that's the minimum the government wants to see for your visa application. Your actual cost might be different.
Now, if you're not coming alone, you have to add more to that base amount. As you can see here, you'll need to add about $10,400 for a partner, and then specific amounts for any children, including a separate, larger amount to cover their school fees.
So how do you get your grand total? It's just a simple 4-step process. First, add up all the living costs for everyone coming with you. Second, add 1 year of your tuition fees, but you can subtract anything you've already paid. Third, add those school fees for the kids. And finally, tack on your estimated travel costs. Easy peasy.
So how do you actually prove you have all this money? You've got two main options. The first is to show the actual money in accounts, like with bank statements or loan documents. The second option is to show that your parents or your partner earn enough money each year. Currently, that's over $87,000. But for that option, you can't just use a letter from their boss. It has to be official government tax records.
And here is a huge warning, and this is a direct quote from the Department of Home Affairs. You can't just have a huge chunk of money appear in your bank account the day before you apply. They want to see the history of those funds. You have to be able to explain where the money came from to prove you have genuine access to it.
Okay, we are in the home stretch. We've covered a lot. But before you even think about clicking that submit button, we need to do one last, super thorough check of everything.
Please run through this list one last time. Go back to that official document checklist tool, just in case something's changed. Make sure your health insurance is fully paid and listed correctly. Triple check every name, date, and passport number for typos. And make sure your financial documents tell a clear, believable story.
So as you get that final stack of documents together, just ask yourself this one question. Are these papers just checking off boxes, or are they telling the true, complete, and compelling story of who you are as a genuine student who's ready for this adventure? If you get that story right, you are well on your way.